Are you searching for physiological causes of your anxiety, trying to find out if there is a physical cause? Seems like your anxiety is coming out of nowhere. Well, my name is Dr. Taranella, and in this video, we're going to discuss 5 physiological causes for anxiety. These are the 5 most common reasons that I see in my practice, and we're going to discuss the effect of hormones, digestion, biogenic amines, nutrition, and addiction and substances that can lead to anxiety. So if you're interested in learning more about these physiological causes of anxiety, keep watching. We're going to get into the details. We're all about helping you gain a deeper understanding of your health and what's going on with your body. Hopefully this video gets you a little bit closer towards that aim. I also wanted to point out that sometimes when I'm producing this content, I get a statistic wrong or the name of something wrong, and almost always there's a corresponding blog article on our website, SW Integrated Medicine /blog. You can find it there. Those oftentimes go into a little bit more detail than the videos do as well. So please check that out if you're interested. And it does take considerable effort to produce this content. So if you're liking the information, please click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you do have questions about any of the content, please ask it in the comment section here or on the blog. That's why I'm producing the information, for you to gain that deeper understanding. So ask the questions if you have them. Hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Let's get into it. So the third physiological cause of anxiety that I wanted to talk about has to do with digestion. So this is a somewhat newer idea in the last couple of years, that there's a relationship between, and it's not just a random idea, it's based on some research that I'll get into in a minute, but this idea that there's a relationship between the cells of the digestive tract and the intrinsic neurological system inside the digestive tract that then communicates with the central nervous system. And then there's a it's a two-way street. So the central nervous system's communicating to that same nervous input. It's called the enteric nervous system. And so basically the digestive cells are getting signals from the central nervous system, and then also the digestive cells are communicating back to the central nervous system through the autonomic nervous system. So I'll show you a picture here in a minute that'll make that look a little clearer, so you can see all the names of things and how they're moving. But this is a newer idea that there's a two-way communication between the digestive cells and your brain, basically. And when you're feeling that there's more fight or flight all of a sudden, and you have a lot of digestive symptoms that day, there probably is a connection there. And this is more apparent, more obvious in people that have IBS. It seems to be more of a problem, and that it's probably because a lot of times they do have inflammation there. And so the brain is, getting that perception of, there's more inflammation here in the body. There is a threat. We need to do something about it. So it's going to produce more cortisol. You're going to feel that in your body, and sometimes too in the gut. So, okay, so this is an illustration from a medical journal article, the Annals of Gastroenterology from 2016, and it's basically illustrating the communication, the two-way communication between your brain / central nervous system and the intestines. So there's specific cells in the intestines that produce hormones, and that's what's illustrated here. And these are the specific intestinal cells, the epithelial cells, and this is ENS, which is enteric nervous system. And that nervous system activity is basically sending signals to these epithelial cells. And the epithelial cells are also communicating with these microbes. And it's a two-way street, as indicated by those arrows. So not only are these cells getting communication from the enteric nervous system, they're also sending information back to that enteric nervous system, which then feeds up through the central nervous system efferents back up to the pituitary gland. And then things throughout the body, or just those signals themselves will go back down and also have an effect on this relationship as well. And then the pituitary gland can send out more central signaling to the body via its act on different glands through the hormones, such as the adrenal glands. So the pituitary produces ACTH, which is a hormone that stimulates the adrenal glands to produce cortisol and other adrenocortical hormones. So when your body is, when your pituitary is getting the perception of more stress, of more of a threat in the external environment, it's going to produce more of this, and that sort of causes that fight or flight activity that a lot of people experience when they have anxiety or anxious states. And that could be coming from something going awry here, either the nervous system here or some aspect of this dynamic is detecting a threat. Maybe have there's inflammation in here for one reason or another, and that signal is getting fed back up to the pituitary. Then you get cortisol, and the cycle repeats itself. So that's all I wanted to show there, which isn't there's a lot going on here, and a lot more research needs to be done to look at this. But as you can see, it's fairly complex, a lot of moving parts, and hard to isolate which thing is starting the cascade. But you can check out that journal article about the gut-brain axis in 2016, the Annals of Gastroenterology, if you're interested to learn more. But that's sort of the gist of it. So the fourth thing that I want to talk about with regard to physiological causes of anxiety has to do with addiction and withdrawal. So substances of abuse or different biochemical substances can cause anxiety, especially when you're coming off of them. So a pretty simple example or common example is when you consume lots of alcohol, the next day you're going to have, or even a few hours later after, you may have 1, 2, 3 drinks, and then you wake up in the middle of the night, sort of wide awake, can't go back to sleep. This will happen when you have, heavier amounts of alcohol will knock you out initially, but then you sort of wake up all of a sudden. So what's happening there is your body is producing things that will allow you to sort of counteract that central nervous system depressant, the alcohol, and then when that wears off, you sort of feel stimulated all of a sudden. That's one reason. There's also a lot of detoxification that's occurring, and some of those molecules can be stimulating to the body as well. And so there's lots of reasons why one gets those withdrawal symptoms, but the main one being that there's a change in your physiology, your brain chemistry that's creating this as a result of the counteracting forces when you consume things that are sedating or depressant. Same thing with things like Xanax. So if you take Xanax or other benzodiazepines, there's a rebound effect. It's the old adage, what goes up must come down. So in this case, what gets sedated must get unsedated. So there's sort of an equal and opposite reaction. Once you take that substance and it wears off, you sort of rebound in the opposite direction. And you'll see this a lot of times with people that are taking Xanax or some sort of benzodiazepine as needed. They may take it to sleep on a Monday, and then they say, well, I'm not going to take it the next day because I don't want to get addicted to it. They sleep okay on Tuesday, but then on Wednesday when they try not to take it, they're feeling really stimulated again. So keep that in mind. Different substances can cause this sort of anxiety that seems to be coming for no rhyme or reason, but it has to do with the half-life of the drug when you're taking it and when it wears off, and those things are not always set for each drug. It's going to be different, and for each person there's a little bit of variance there too. The same can be said for other substances too. So when you take something and it makes you feel a certain way, when it wears off, you're going to have that opposite effect. And that's just inherent in how our bodies work. So the fifth and final reason that I'm going to give today for as a physiological cause for anxiety has to do with nutrition. So this one's important as all the other ones are too. But simple things like dietary changes can sometimes make a pretty big difference on how you feel day to day. So one of those things is protein. So protein, the structure of protein is made out of amino acids, and those amino acids are precursors to neurotransmitters like serotonin, like dopamine and epinephrine. Not enough of these, and you'll feel kind of sluggish, sometimes anxious. But having having enough protein around can give you a more even-keeled mood. So make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet, and there's different ways you can measure this, but typically, you need about half of your body weight in grams of protein. That's at least a good target for most people to shoot for. If you're under by 10 or 20%, probably okay. If you're working out a lot, exercising in any capacity, you're going to need, on the higher end of that scale, possibly even more. So protein's important. Also, many specific nutrients, deficiencies in these can cause problems with your mood. Again, you're not able to make certain neurotransmitters if you don't have enough vitamin B6, vitamin B12, folate, different things like this, even iron. So making sure you're not deficient in any specific nutrient can also help remove that potential for having anxiety. Again, you're looking at the threshold from here, not anxious, and then here you're anxious. We want to put you down here and make sure you're not hitting up against that threshold at all. So to do that, we want to remove any potential physiological reasons that may be causing your anxiety. So if we can remove those, you may feel, 10, 20% better. And then sometimes it's even, a whole lot better. So simple changes like that can make a big difference. So knowing your body, knowing your physiology and what's going on, you can make those adjustments. So those are the 5 physiological causes that I came up with. Hopefully that information was helpful. There certainly are a lot more physiological causes for anxiety. And of course, there's the psychological causes as well. But if you had others that you were thinking of and you want to comment on that, put it in the comment section and I'll give you my opinion on those. And certainly there are other causes, physiological causes of anxiety. But if you like this information, click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.